craziness, craziness, way, crazing. And so to the sides of this rather lovely smelling guitar. I had trouble getting this knob out, but I don't know whether it's because the guitar's now cold, but actually it comes out quite easily. It was standing proud of the surface, but I've discovered that if I just rotate the knob like that, it actually goes in flush, so no need for any adjustments or anything. But I'm going to remove that because it will make things a lot easier. Now I've got a load of crazing around here that I need to address, and I'm hoping that just rubbing alcohol over the top of it and letting it all soak in will melt the shellac down and prepare the surface nicely for a few more layers of shellac over the top, I hope. I've got a little bit of rubbing down to do anyway, and I've got some tar, we think it's tar, on the sides that I need to remove, for which I'm going to use my rather expensive plastic scraper. So let's get moving. I'm hoping you can see this tar on here. It's little lumps of black stuff, and on the top we tried to dissolve it away with naphtha, but it didn't work. So I'm hoping that I can just pop it off with this plastic scraper, although maybe not. No. Yeah, I'm wondering whether to use a metal blade or just put sandpaper over the top of it. It doesn't. I was hoping it would just pop off, but I don't think so. No. Oh well, right. 1500 grit and a little bit of water, I think. See what happens. That's coming straight off. Oh, that's brilliant. That's just removed it so easily. Oh yeah, that's a huge relief. That actually looks like a really good surface. So no more tar. Right, let's get the rest of that done. A bit of water. I've masked the neck off because the neck's in pretty good condition. I'm wondering whether to just leave it and not refinish it, but yeah, I haven't made the mind up. I need to make my mind up on this at some point. What I've found with these tar marks is if I'm not careful to completely eradicate them, it gets hard to tell the difference between them and the figuring in the wood. When I take them down flush with the surface, if there's still a bit of black left, it's hard to spot the difference between the figuring and the black marks. There you go. I think I've got them all off there, but there's still a few here. I'm just going to be careful that I take everything off. I don't want to start putting finish over the top of tar. When I talk about tar, I do, of course, I'm referring to cigarette tar, whether or not you ever got cigarette tar dripping on guitars. That sounds a bit extreme, but then I guess people used to smoke an awful lot. But would it have ever actually have dripped onto a guitar? Would tar drip from a cigarette? I don't think so. So maybe that will remain one of the little mysteries. I did actually have a little bit of drip from the back here. Maybe I can blame Christopher for that. It may have been me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's see if I can get that flush. That's nice. And of course, when I put the shellac on, any slight imperfections will get smoothed out. And of course, you've got a few little dents here as well, which, well, it's all part of the charm of the guitar. I'm just going to be very careful with the application of water here because, well, can you be careful? I don't know. I want to be very light because of, I believe, the damage to the finish is already caused by water. So I'm just going to take the very top layer off. That's probably as much as I want to do. Let me quickly dry it. Because I don't want any of the finish to come off, which maybe it has. Yeah, I think some of the finish has been coming off there. The trouble is, if I don't do this and take the top layer off, I'm going to just push a lot of the dirt into the finish. I need to take some of the dirt away, but leave as much of the original finish underneath as I can to sort of preserve the colour. This looks like paint here. Okay, that's gone. Yeah, there's still a lot of crazing there, so now I'm going to get some alcohol and rub that in, see what happens, but I'll just give it a little and give it a few minutes to dry. I'm worried that I've actually taken most of the finish off just here, but we'll see what we can do with the alcohol. Already feel it grabbing the surface, so this is virtually like French polishing anyway, and I'm going to have to keep this moving because the alcohol is dissolving the shellac and I need to just keep moving over the top. Really soak it. Gets very sticky very quickly. Yeah. Can still see some crazing, but it does look like that's, I'm hoping that that is shellac and not dirt. I think it's shellac. Might be better off with more of a sort of rubber on the pad, just a small little, see how that works. Not very well, apparently. I've got the guitar in the vise with plenty of towel wrapped around it. I can still see crazing, but that has made the surface a lot more even. Let's just apply a little bit more. See if we can melt that down. From this angle, I can see a little bit of crazing, but a little bit of pitting in the surface. But it's certainly brought the finish really quite nice, and obviously putting shellac over the top of that will smooth it down nicely. So that's probably enough. Just remains to go over the rest of the sides a little bit more lightly with alcohol, and then I can do the sides. And immediately that starts dragging. So we'll leave that there. So that's got rid of much of the craziness. Craziness, way. Crazing. From the top it looks pretty good actually. From the side where you can see the light, you can still see the orange peel effect. But hopefully a few layers of shellac over the top of that will really bring that out. Applying just alcohol over the top has made a remarkable difference to the finish. Actually, it really has freshened the finish up somewhat. We've got a really nice polish on the sides here, but I can see that French polishing is really quite an art to get a real polish on, and I can also see that you need oil to keep the pad moving when you've got a really thin final finish on, because of course alcohol is the thinnest you can get. It's there's no shellac in there at all, so I've got those delights to come. But I think now let's go mix up some shellac.